I'm gonna be honest with you. You have Igor to thank for this video being created, because it's only because that album has kept me away from other new music for the past 2 days that I was able to maintain my excitement for this project and not listen to it until I was done consuming that one. Injury Reserve, I believe this is their self-titled debut album. FLOSS was my introduction to Injury Reserve back in 2016. Really enjoyed everything they've come out with since then. Their one single, I believe it was North Pole, I might be wrong, but if I am correct, the music video for it was beautiful, very heartfelt, and then they proceeded to come out with Drive It Like It's Stolen, an EP where they kind of take control of their lives and hold nothing back. One life, one chance, so you gotta go all the way. Drive it as if it doesn't belong to you. Now they've been building up to this new release, this new album, because it's their first. Very interested in what sound, what direction they're gonna go with. They've always been a little bit more off kilter with a lot of the music that they make. That never really been like traditional hip-hop rap music, which is something that I've liked about them. It's added a lot of personality to their music to me, so I'm excited. I've already heard the first track.
No, for real, don't say shit like you speaking in mime.
Don't say shit like you speaking in mime. Roggs has that gang initiation tone and demeanor when he's rapping. Like, let me show you how this shit's done so that when you do it, you won't be confused. Track number 2 is Jawbreaker with Rico Nasty. I don't remember if I've heard this one or not. I know I also heard Jailbreak the Tesla, so I guess we'll see. I'm not gonna lie, this sounds like the last Airbender soundtrack. Y'all know what the real ones know what I'm talking about.
You're staring like you don't know what it's for. Doesn't happen to have anything on top of his head. But he did when I walk in, I got everyone panicking shit like,
your hair's supposed to be sewed in, not spiked up. I do what I want, not whatever gets the likes up.
Alright, yeah, I like this track. You know, about being authentic, being true to yourself, not following trends. I really love how clear they all sound here. Like, the mixing on this track is great to me. It's not my favorite though, but the mixing here is like pretty good. GTFU, I'm assuming that means get the fuck up with JPEGMAFIA. Oh, JPEGMAFIA.
get the fuck up! Fuck boy, get the fuck up!
I mean, if I do, I'm not gonna be in the frame. Disenfranchised up in my white tee. The subtlety of that bar. I like the glitchiness. The glitziness and the glitchiness is really cool.
Some of y'all take off fast with forget distance. This is a marathon, not a sprint, it's a big difference.
So I see what's going on here. If we're going based off the previous track and then also this one, it's like reiteration of being authentic and coming up with your own thing, and just, you know, get the fuck up means go out and do some shit. You know, you gotta get it on your own. I really like the glitchiness of this track, how distorted at one point their voices are, and I guess that's one thing I can kind of appreciate them for, is being authentic, sticking to their own way of doing things. Not only Groggs and Richie for, you know, rapping in a style that's kind of native to them and keeping true to their own identity, but also Parker on production for giving them a foundation to do it on. I think that sound is just helping them add to the authenticity of this record even more. Track number 4 is the QWERTY interlude.
Great Frost, Wild Bear, Share Bandit, Pirate Bay, that way, scam. I apologize when CDs stop happen.
Hold on, I keep skipping.
Yeah, I get that they had to reference, you know, that no one buys physicals anymore. CDs are just like, they're gone. They're useless, especially in the streaming era. So I like the reference there. I've heard Jailbreak the Tesla with Aminé. Great track. I believe for this one they're using the Tokyo Drift sample, which for this group works amazing. Freaking Tesla. Fuck.
It's by the internet, final stage, yo. We can do anything by the age, yo. Did the start, there was 2 from my space, yo. Dry like the cool, lights in the roof. I think I'm rules. Fish in the seats, I
don't know how you did this, man.
Engine go vroom, and my engine go. Elon on the.
The fact that they silenced the entire track to reference how quiet the actual car itself is just, it's peak music. Next track is Gravy and Biscuits. Okay.
Every everything cool, nigga, everything gravy and biscuits.
Never thought I would hear them on a track like this. Y'all acting unusual.
Get that shit how you live. Glad to see a new day, cause not everyone does. 85, I told your girl you bout to blow. You blew like 85, I told your mama's butter. Big nigga, you about to blow your knee out of the LA fitness.
I love how he plays with the word blow.
Other guy, please hate your whole life. All they eights in one basket. Shit happens, gotta double down on their actions. The Uber sticker off the window.
Me and you. Check it, yeah.
Yeah, that definitely sounded like some like 04, 05 hip hop shit that they're referencing. And I like how this whole album pretty much it references the old ways that we used to consume music and the old ways that we used to obtain music. Like he mentions Jailbreak in the Tesla. He mentions, CDs being the old form of content, how people used to buy physicals, but we don't anymore, how, we all switched to, it transitioned through LimeWire and through LimeWire and Pirate Bay, services that you can get to download music illegally and still be able to consume it. The transition from all that before we get to streaming, I think is notable. And I think most people who listen to a lot of music know where we've come from. The fact that they're referencing how this thing is as far as where we've come from and also referencing it musically, because this track, again, it sounds like some 02 to 05 kind of music. Number 7 is Rap Song Tutorial.
Step 2, assemble your drums.
That's crazy, man.
4, write a hook.
New chores, got some bread in mind. I want the 2 doors, ain't no giving rides. New chores, got some bread in mind. I want the 2 doors, ain't no giving rides.
Repeat with verse.
New chores, yeah.
Low key, I get it.
Tell that tool on some dumb boy shit. I'll be draped up like Joaquin and her.
Repeat 10 to 12 times to create a rap album.
New chores.
One thing I think that adds to this record's power and impact is just how haunting Richie's voice can be. That's how I imagine Richie rapping over a beat, because it's like he smothers the instrumental after it. And like I said, how self-aware the group is. Like, they know that it should be a simple formula. It's not a difficult thing to do. It really isn't an excuse for why so many artists should sound the same, but he does acknowledge at the same time that it's not hard to make a rap song in general anyway. I love this instrumental. The actual tutorial part of it itself may or may not take replay value away from this track for some people. I would have loved to just hear this track and just that be it. But honestly, I think those references on how to do it, add your drums, add your hook, repeat 10 to 12 times, I just think that's funny. Track number 8 has Freddie Gibbs with Wax On.
Like a fake, yeah. Wax on, wax off. I hit rock bottom, been on that ground. That's check since I got the blue one. So please tell me what the fuck that verifies. Twitter feeds don't feed my daughter. If I could tell that motherfucker, I would cash it in.
Drugs, he just be hitting different, he different, man. Everything that people go through to get verified, even though it verifies nothing. He makes a reference to him getting less, even though publicly he's solidified or verified now, but he'd rather sell it. And I completely understand where he's coming from. That following, like that social media presence is important, but it doesn't equate to money. It doesn't equate to revenue. It doesn't equate to monetization in any form, I know people that are verified that don't have any money. And they worked hard to get that verification. It's just like, why do you care about it? Like, I'm not saying money is the root of everything, but I'm just saying if you're going to be able to do something, you should make it profitable. If you can't, then why are you investing so much time into it?
Homies on the left, got my family on the right, and they all
Stand up for your fate. Wax on, wax off.
Stand up for your fate. This whole album is about authenticity.
dope on my stove top, yeah. Percy Miller, ice cream, my glass pot.
My stove top, yeah.
Everyone niggas will kill you for fame. Ripping this water off, cracking the back
Oh
of the
my
leg,
God, this is crazy.
Kicking in my system in the face.
Demolishing this instrumental.
Big sweet with a bitch on the knee. IG fucking hoes off.
This hook and their verses reinforcing the idea of it, just to be you and stand up for your beliefs, stand up for your fate, take control of your fate, and don't let the world drive you. You drive you. I just think that message is important, not only for, you know, their fan base, but for other rappers if they happen to, you know, cross paths with it. Like, there's certain things that you should prioritize, and your fate should be one of them. Freddie Gibbs kills his verse. Groggs absolutely destroys his verse too. The intensity in his voice. This is the perfect song, honestly. I don't know what those little ringing noises were, peeking in and out of the instrumental while they were rapping. That was perfect. Track number 9, What a Year It's Been.
Had no motivation, liquor and depression is a bad combination. Ain't doing enough, and now I feel alive. Writing verses with a smile while my daughter's by my side.
And this shit like Beethoven and Ajax since Ye met A-Track. He got his first Maybach.
Weekends full of distant daps and head nods.
I don't know how much, like, the swelling in the beginning of the instrumental, then Groggs literally rapping about being, you know, not hitting the bottom, but rapping in such isolation. Like that it sounds empty where he's rapping. It's like he's isolated, like he's in complete solitude. Like, his verses just really been hitting me this whole time. Richie just kind of comes in and just like with this aggression and this fed up, you know, attitude on the beat, almost as if he's kind of angry and he feels like he kind of wasted a bit of his time. Track number 10 is Hello.
Can anybody hear me now?
I would have loved for them to rap over that. Track number 11 is Best Spot in the House.
And that be songs, man, they say they life. Now you put that kind of power in these hands of mine. Respond to some shit like that. Am I supposed to
weird.
That I ain't trying to take away from the experience they have, but honestly, I'm not those.
Dude, this is
they talk about the strength, but to me, man, that shit was inexcusable.
Hit me like it might have been a heart attack. Couldn't do shit about it, and I started to pray. Said if he wakes up, I swear that I'll call and text him every day.
I completely understand Richie's verse here. Like, I've always wondered that, how people can put that much power and stock in what someone else says. Like, I get it. This person makes something that does something for you, but if you could do it with this thing, then that, you know, that means you always were able to do it. You never needed the thing. You just, you know, you thought you did. He speaks on how it was never him, but it was always you. He doesn't look at the work that he's created as anything amazing. He just looks at it as being honest. He's not trying to associate the word honesty with honorable, because he clearly doesn't think that. Yes, sometimes there's honor in honesty, but not everything that you're honest about is honorable. And I think that's what he's trying to get at. Just because I make music that's true doesn't mean that that thing that happened was okay. I get him looking at people confused, like, how does that do anything for you? Like, I get where you're coming from, but if you were me, you might not think about it like that. Track number 12 is New Hawaii featuring DRAM. Okay.
Trying to get it right, cause I know that I've been on your mind some time.
That fucking violin, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling that track like that, but the violin definitely saved it for me at the end. And the final track is 3-Man Weave. This is interesting. It definitely sounds like it has some New York influence.
But I had no J, so it really didn't mean shit. Yeah, sorry. In rap parallels, I was like Rusty said. Plus, if it was today, I'd probably get kicked off of Kneeland and shit doing the 3-Man weave, though.
He was felt too pretentious for some Migos, like he couldn't enjoy the lack of content and subjects that they put in their music. And then Fonte goes on to make a track with Lil B. And I wonder how a lot of people who are like just so obsessed with lyrics and everything feel when like their favorite lyricist gets together with a dude that's like either a troll or he doesn't really say anything. Like, I wonder how that makes them feel. He also talks about Russ's descent on this track, which is just like, why did you do that? The album to me, like I said, it seems like the next step for what, you know, they've been creating already. You know, they came out with Floss, which was extremely rhythmic in my opinion. It had a lot of replay value. Still rocking S on Your Chest to this day. The intro song, Oh Shit, like, Floss is one of my favorite Injury Reserve projects. Then you go through their discog and you see that this is just naturally what would come next out of a group that was already creating a type of hip-hop back then, like that kind of sound. The type of things that they were doing with some of the transitions, like as far as the interludes go, I felt would be more existent on a mixtape more than an album. Now, as far as its quality and the way it's designed and how well it's mixed and, you know, how just fresh it sounds, it's not really dirty. That gives me, you know, the pristine look at it. You know, it definitely looks like an album. And it also talks about being authentic, being true to yourself. You know, if their previous project was about taking control of your life and driving it like it's stolen, this project is about, while you're driving it like it's stolen, make sure that nothing gets in the way while you're doing so. Make sure that you are remaining true to yourself. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Make sure that you've got your own best interests at heart. Make sure that no one's taking advantage of you. Make sure that you don't come out tainted at the end of the day. Make sure while you're on this journey and you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, you remain true. You remain you. Even though their sound is very like off the wall, very janky and weird, it's still very consistent and like focused. It's focused in on this one project. That's what makes the whole thing sonically pretty cohesive. The atmospheres that they create in different songs really help to illustrate that idea. They go from like real confident and sure and focused to very intimate and vulnerable at certain moments in this project, especially Grog's saxophones on the final track kind of give this very nigga we made it kind of vibe to the whole album and to themselves, because they seem to have created a place for themselves, and they distort their voice pretty regularly in this project, and the melodies that they managed to create are kind of insane, because I don't know at certain points what instruments they're using or what effects they're using to create them. They really go through the motions on this track, even though it doesn't seem like they took a lot of time to discuss each different emotion. It's still there. With it being so focused, I don't really see them having much time to explore their more carefree material, so it is a little odd in that vein. Tracks like Oh Shit, I feel like, you know, existed because they weren't really focused in on like core ideas. They were just making music. But I think that focus has just led to tracks that you really won't get from anywhere else, like Jailbreak the Tesla and Wax On with Freddie Gibbs. Like, these tracks are insane. These are like really strong tracks too. Injury Reserve. That's how I'm feeling on it. I'm definitely coming back to it. A lot of tracks on here that I enjoy, and there's really nothing else to say. If you enjoyed it, let me know why in the comment section down below, and I'll see you next time. Peace.